For many, a day at the seaside means eating hamburgers and ice cream, which is a shame when there are so many other wonderful things like crabs, lobsters, shrimps, prawns, cockles and mussels. It's an even greater shame that the BBC can't, or won't, afford to buy them for this next scene. So I've had to think a bit to get something a little unusual, and of course cheap, to confuse my old friend Rick Stein with, who I think is still recovering from our last meeting. Still, he's a good sport, and he'll be thrilled with this little beast, and he's bound to know how to cook a shark. Aren't you, Rick?
I'm going to take a couple of nice steaks off here, which we're going to, as you know, we're going to grill on the charcoal grill. And it's like meat, isn't it?
It is absolutely incredible. We need another knife, really. You keep chopping that. Look, take that skin off the edge, haven't we?
Well, I'm not too fussed, you know. I mean, it comes away nicely when it's first cooked. Beautiful.
There we are. That is a shark steak. Excuse my finger. I had an accident with an old lady crossing the road late last night. I would have made it all right, but she trod on my hands as I was trying to get into the hotel. Anyway, there we have a beautiful shark steak, which we are... Stay there, Richard. I'll bring this over to you. This is a marinade, which Rick has prepared. What is in the marinade, Rick?
Olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice, salt, pepper, chopped fennel, bay leaf, a bit of thyme. Nothing too complicated.
So we're going to stick those in there. We are going to leave them in there for about an hour before we cook them. Anyway, before we do that, we've got to have a look at this monkfish. Yeah. Rick, why have we got a monkfish? And anyway, why with the head? Because we never see them with the head. We usually only ever see them with just the
tail. I purposely bought it with the head to just show you one or two things about a monkfish. That this actual monkfish weighs about 20 pounds. If you bought the tail, you'd buy about 7 or 8 pounds. So the 13, 14 pounds of weight is the head. It's always thrown away in England, which is a tremendous shame because there's enormous pieces of beautiful meat, which in France, that's the best part of the monkfish, on the cheeks. And the head makes an absolutely wonderful fish fumet.
So if you were going to cut out these little cheeks, these are sort of fillets, if you like, in layman's terms.
Yes.
Succulent fillets.
Succulent is
And what would be the thing to do? Perhaps just dredge them lightly in butter and saute them in butter with fresh lemon juice or something of that kind?
I think you said in your book, which I totally agree with, that monkfish doesn't take cream sauces very well. I mean, I bought this because I'm going to cook it on the charcoal grill, which it goes very well on. I think it's a fish for sort of fairly harsh treatment, really, and sautéing in butter, fine, really nice. Yes. Grilling as well.
And grilling too.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get back to our shark again. We better get these over to the grill. I'll take them over if you like.
Okay.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah,
really hot grill there.
Lovely. Yes. Now that's right, isn't it? The thing about these grills is, people get very purists get very sort of difficult about the fact that this isn't a pure charcoal grill, it's a pumice stone grill. But the thing is, it's always hot, okay? It's always hot, and that is the most important thing about charcoal cookery, if you like.
Or any kind of grilling that you're doing, whether it's on a flat piece of cast iron in your fireplace, if it's a Boy Scout stove you've made on the beach, you must have those coals hot before you attempt what is, in fact, an essentially very rapid cooking process.
Yes.
So, how are we doing?
Well, we're doing well. In fact, I just give it a little bit longer, because the thing is, with fish, because it's quite delicate, although shark is the tougher end of the fish spectrum, it's better just to leave it on there to get the grill marks really well seared. Otherwise, when you try and turn it over, it'll stick to the grill bars.
I'm learning something every day. Marvellous. So they've got to go over now, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're freed. Marvellous, marvellous. Now that looks really superbly appetizing. Now then, come on. Tell us about this here. What have we got here?
Well, that's some dried marjoram and some fennel twigs, a bit of fresh fennel and some dried bay leaves.
From where?
Well, all from my garden except for these, which I actually got from a sort of nearby hedgerow.
What are these? How tall are these when they're in the hedgerow? These are fabulous things. You grill bass on them, you cook all sorts of things on these. If ever you see these in the hedgerows, pick them, take them home, dry them.
Make sure it's fennel and not hemlock.
Right. Now, we're going to get that flavour into the shark steaks.
Right, well, I'm just going to sort of bung them generally down here, get some sort of smoke around here, and I'm going to put some of those branches around the fennel thing as well. What are you doing, Mark?
Well, I just thought, because you're fiddling about there, we'd fasten this up a little bit.
Right.
A little flash like that. You get your herbs going more quickly and release the flavours.
Right, absolutely.
Just a little tiny fraction more.
See, this is something you can do with a grill, isn't it?
It is.
Put anything you like on, you know.
Right.
A bit of sawdust when you're cooking a steak and nice herbs like this when you're doing
Indeed.
some fish.
So while that is cooking, we're going to make a sweet and sour piquant tomato sauce to go with this shark. Richard, come down to the tray of ingredients here, a quick spin round. We've got peeled and chopped tomato, bay leaf, salt, black peppercorns, brown sugar, strong mustard, chopped garlic, chopped shallots, and then we have a choice of Worcester sauce, pepper sauce, drop of medium sweet sherry, and olive oil. Those are my ingredients. Stay with me, and as quick as a flash, oh, and some vinegar, which I've lost somewhere. There's the vinegar. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Here's the vinegar. First thing that goes into this pan, this is the best laid plans of mice and men, is vinegar. In with the shallots. In with some garlic. Maximum heat, because we want to reduce that to almost nothing. Can you hear me above the fizzing and the fire? Floyd on fire, this is, no question about it. In with a bit of olive oil, like that. Have I got the heat going to the maximum? Yes. Tomato into there, like that. A bay leaf, a couple of peppercorns. Don't worry about the coarseness of all of this, because we're going to strain it later. Worcester sauce, like this. Notice that any of you who want to say now, how much exactly did you put in? Well, I'm just putting in what I feel is right, and I should taste it. Some sherry to go into there, a little bit of salt, squeeze of lemon juice. Now, if we were in Provence, or if this was high summer, we'd have really ripe, luscious red tomatoes. We haven't. So to take away the slightly anemic colour of the winter tomatoes, you'll probably be seeing this in the height of summer, but this was made in the winter, you see. We're going to strengthen it with some tomato puree. Now, all we've got to do, because we never cheat on the Floyd programme, we cook in real time, we don't take it out of the oven, that bubbles away once the heat gets to it. I have a drink, and we'll be back with the next phase in, what, a flash. That was jolly witty, wasn't it? Director likes things like that. Anyway, Rick, here we are. The sauce is now completed. It's been reducing away for 15 minutes or so. We pour it onto the plate through a sieve. Rick is now going to roll it round like that. That's a beautiful sweet and sour sauce on there. And what could be better? Do you want a taste?
Yeah, damn right I do.
And I want your honest opinion, as usual, on my sauce, because you wanted to put a vinaigrette on it, didn't you?
It's very nice.
What's reckon, the old pal, the old beauty?
I think it's lovely.